G'day scrappers and gold lovers. Today I'm going to be scrapping a Blu-ray player, and the brand is what I think would be the DVD terrestrial, I don't know. Oh, am I that bad? LG. So we're scrapping an LG 3D Blu-ray player. Sorry about the glare from the light. There's not a lot to the outside. At a quick glance, I'd say on the back. Sorry, I've got a shoulder injury. I'm trying to move this around. I'm not supposed to be using my arm. So we've got a couple of some nice gold pins there. And there's not much else on the back. I'll start taking these screws out and get the case off and see what's inside. This is the hard drive. It's just like any computer hard drive, same thing. Bit of gold on the ribbon wire here, really good gold pins, and on the other side of this will be some BGA's IC chips. It looks like there's some gold there on the board, and underneath all the holes, the screw holes, there could be gold. I'll have to have a closer look, but from where I am it looks like it's gold. So I'll pull this board off and show you what it looks like underneath. Alright, so this is the board. As you can see, there's two nice big IC chips on there. Oh, there's another one there, so that's three. There's no BJs on this one. Another little IC chip there. And there's quite a few MLCCs. I don't know how well they're showing up, but there's MLCCs on this board. I've got to take those off right now and then work on getting these fingers out. They're pretty easy sometimes. Bend this backwards and forwards, and then until it's in like a 90-degree angle to the board, and then you can pull the plastic off and leave all the pins sitting there. I won't do the hard drive yet. I'll put that aside and do that last. I just want to get this bulky thing done off my lap. So I'll undo these we'll get this out of my way. I'll undo these boards and then show you what's on them. Alright, so I've taken the plastic part off. You can see the gold pins. And usually they're a very good coating because it's important for the hard drive to get a good connection. They're usually only gold on one side. And there was also 4 or 5 just here which I've already removed, but I just thought before I took them off, I'd show you what they look like. And now they're really easy just to bend backwards and forwards and snap off, so they just break, or you can get cutters onto them, but they fall off pretty easily. So I'll get the rest of those off now, and I use my little micro torch to heat the IC chips up, and then they fall off. I can't do it now because I only got one hand to show you. I'm working on getting a GoPro, I just can't afford it. I want to get the GoPro Hero. That's hundreds of dollars that I haven't got. If I had a GoPro, I'd have hands free and I'd be able to show you everything I do. Alright, so now I can get the IC chips off, and then I'm done with this board. It doesn't appear to be gold after all, it's just anodized. So I'll get that done now, and I'll clean these pins up. We'll work on those boards. Finally down to these boards here. This power board is joined to this one with some pins, and so they just need a bit of a wiggle, and it generally comes off. Hard with one hand, but there it goes. So there's holes in the board where the pins go into that slot. The pins will be on here. They're just steel by the looks of it, so they're no good. So we'll start with this board since it's in my hand. There could be some gold pins in these connectors. I don't think so though. But that one there, that's HDMI plug. That'll have gold pins. That's the Ethernet plug. That'll have gold pins. There's not usually a lot in these. There's 2 transistors down there, the black ones there. They'll have gold pins. IC chip there. A row of IC chips there. Nice big one there, small one there. Another small one there. Gold in that connector, the white one. Transistor there. MLCCs. Another IC chip there. Looks like there might be a BGA in front of my thumb there. Another IC chip there. IC chip in there. I think I might have said that one already. I'll take this off and see what's under this. See if I can do it with one hand. It's usually just a plastic clip. See the white plastic clip there? Now I'll get my cutters onto it. See if I can do this while I'm holding the camera. And the cutter's gone. Sitting on them. Sorry, you're watching what I'm doing and not looking through the viewfinder. This is aluminium. So we've got this IC chip down under here. Get this rubbish off the top. It's a heat transfer type of rubbery substance. They're no good. That's if it was a gold corner BGA, it'd be alright. But they're useless. Those ones, there's nothing in them. So now I'm just going to get all these IC chips off and the MLCCs off, and I'll heat the contacts where this goes into the board, so I can take those off. Those 2. Another black connector there. There's got gold legs on it. It's the same as a SATA cable. That's what the SATA cable connected to. On the back there's an IC chip there, IC chip there, IC chip there. Looks like a little transistor there. Some nice big MLCCs there. And that's it. Just MLCCs on the board. Take those off. That's the end of that board. Now this one here sometimes has some goodies, the power board. So to start with, there may be gold in that connector, I don't know. Since the legs were steel, I wouldn't imagine there'd be gold in there. There's little black diodes with a grey stripe. I recently did a video of those. So there's gold in that. There's, right there in front of my finger is one of those black diodes that's round for most of the way round and then flat on one side. And there's 3 legs, they've got gold on them. Silver, this green capacitor here will probably have silver in it. These are aluminium capacitors, they're no good. But these 3 in front there, they were copper spools, I do believe. Yeah, they've usually got copper spools of wire. These are aluminium capacitors, they're no good. These big 3 ones as well. Extruded aluminium there with transistors attached to them. Transformer here with copper wire inside. Now this blue thing here, I don't believe it's a silver capacitor because it's not flat and round, it's bulky, and usually when they're bulky and like that, they're 9 times out of 10 MLCC. Another aluminium capacitor, another green capacitor, whatever this orange one is, probably a tantalum. Another flat diode there, round half of it and then flat. These things here, I don't know if they're an IC chip or not, but I always cut them off and put them in my IC chips. There's 2 legs on either side, and I see quite a lot of those. I'm assuming they'd have gold in them. Transistor here, the gold legs, there's another one of those diodes there. Big aluminium capacitor MOSFET there, which has got gold legs. Another one of those blue, what I think would be an MLCC. Spool of copper there, I like doing those ones, they're really easy. And they run off a nice spool of bright copper wire. There's an tantalum capacitor. And that's it. Not much of those glass fuse there. And on the back of the board there's nothing, I believe. So, brown capacitor in there, down there. It's not showing up too well on the camera, sorry about that, it's the lighting, it's early morning here. Alright, so now that all the boards are done, I've got to take all the stuff off that I've showed you. I'll do that, and then what I'll do is I'll pull the hard drive apart. I know that you guys have probably seen lots of hard drives pulled apart. There's probably some people out there that haven't, so I'll show you what's inside there. There's not a whole lot of gold inside it. Mostly it's just all aluminium, but I'll show you anyway. I'm pulling the CD reader apart. There's the main laser diode. You can see the gold in the middle, and around it is zinc. So I keep the zinc for gold recovery and so on, and it's quite deep. Sometimes these are really long, sometimes they're fairly shallow. You can see on the back where it stops, so it goes most of that distance through there. They're really good ones. There it is. Good one, sit there, don't roll off. And then on here, on the end is a little square gold plate. It's only that thin, it's not very thick at all, but there's gold on there. And then that section there with 4 pins coming off, I've not seen one of those before. So I'm going to pull that apart and hope that there's also a gold laser diode inside that, but there might not be. So that's what they look like. I'll go get those pins off here, and all this in here is no good. There are some neodymium magnets in there, tiny little square ones. So if you're after some small magnets, but other than that, no good for me. So I'm just going to take that section out, see what's in there, and get that little square bit of gold, and then cut. The zinc is very easy to cut, so you just cut down the side, and that gold thing will pop out, and just keep the zinc, put it aside for recovery. And once I've done that, I'll move on to the hard drive. So finally we have the hard drive. There was a piece that goes across the top here I took off because I was trying to get hold of a magnet. This is the top layer, and it looks like stainless steel. Sometimes they're aluminium, but if it's really shiny like this, then it's probably stainless steel. But you need to check with a magnet, because sometimes they do stick to a magnet. Sorry, losing my voice. And my scrapyard won't take them if they stick to a magnet. It still could be stainless steel. There's all different grades of stainless steel, and some do stick to magnets. But I can only sell the ones that don't. So I'm going to try and get that neodymium magnet there, that round goes around. This is sticking, so it's steel. Alright, so what we got here is a tab under here which sometimes has gold pins. See if I can get the light onto it. Sometimes there's gold pins, these ones aren't. There's a little bit of gold on the board just there, on the ribbon, and it's connected to the read writer, and this is just aluminium. There's a bit of brass wire, and it said that there's a strip of gold that goes down the top of each finger. You can see that little piece that's pulled away, it's like plastic, and it goes right down to the tip here. Apparently there's gold there, and it's such a fine amount, such a tiny amount, and then just on the plastic ribbon it runs all the way along the top here. I have tried collecting it in the past, I don't think there's going to be enough there to warrant collecting them, so I've stopped. But for those who are interested, and it's supposed to run all the way up to the circuit board. Sometimes on that board there's a little chip. This one's got a circuit die. Quite often there's a little IC chip on there. So the ribbon's no good, those pins are no good. So I just tear that ribbon off and I throw this into my aluminium pile. I'll get the brass wire off it as well. Then we have a neodymium magnet for anybody who collects magnets. I had thousands of them. I threw them all away because they just built up so much. These platters are aluminium coated in palladium, but it's such a small amount. There's videos out there showing you need hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds to get a decent amount. This aluminium in the middle is extruded aluminium. It's good quality. So you take these screws here out, this will come off, the platter will come off, and if there's several platters, I don't know if there is or not, then there will be more of these in between. And then finally you get down to the cast aluminium box, and that goes in my cast bucket. So there you go, that's everything to do with a Blu-ray player. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next video. Bye.